What's up, guys? Today I'm going to be ranking all the NFL quarterbacks. And just a disclaimer, there are more than 32 in here because there are some situations like the Panthers where they do have, I think there's two or three on the list. I know we have Sam Darnold, Baker Mayfield. So there's like 37 ish. Um, and this is me, my opinion, how I think they're going to perform in the next season. As getting the team to the playoffs, getting them a winning record, just overall. So I have the tiers. I have perfect, borderline elite, above average, average, below average, and bad. I I would assume that these are self-explanatory, but perfect meaning, they have everything they need in that quarterback to make it to the Super Bowl and win. Borderline elite, almost there, above average. They can make it to the playoffs. Average, they're right around the winning record. Below average, 5-12, bad. Just completely ignore them. So let's get into it. I have Aaron Rodgers right here. I understand he's good, but just in my personal opinion, I've never really liked him. Yeah, I feel like he shouldn't have won MVP last season. He did have a good season, but I feel like someone like Cooper Cup might have been a better um, person to win, but it's a wide receiver. They never win. So I would say borderline elite because there's only like one or two people I think that fit and perfect. I feel like he's definitely going to lead them to the playoffs. I don't see why he wouldn't, even though they don't have Devonte Adams anymore. I don't feel like it's going to be that big of a difference. Um, and he still has a good supporting cast. I'm trying to think of who I know they have. No, I don't know exactly who they have. Who they drafted in the draft for wide receiver. Next we have Baker Mayfield. Um, and just letting you guys know, I will be ordering them. So like if I have two in here, I'd be ordering them. But Baker Mayfield, he's now in Carolina Panthers, so he is. I think it's Matt Corral's over there, and so is Sam Darnold. So he's gonna be competing there. He is. I mean, when he is good, he's good, but when he isn't, he's not good. So I personally I would put him here below average. Um, Dak Prescott. Ooh, okay. I feel like he can almost always lead the Cowboys to the playoffs, but that first game in the playoffs is that's it. They make it to the playoffs the first game, but that's it. Um, I would say he's between above average and borderline elite. I'll just put him in above average for now. Carson Wentz for the Washington Commanders. Um, I like the Commanders, but they did pay a little bit much for him for what he's worth. Um, Personally, I would say he's average to below average. They did extend Terry McLaurin, I think his name is. So that's definitely going to be helpful for him. We don't know how good he's going to be playing yet. So, I mean, he did just, get traded there. I feel like he's going to end up at the end of next season being around average, like consistently average. But I'd say he's definitely better than Baker whenever he's consistent. Daniel Jones, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Daniel Jones. Um, he can run, but he's not always going to be able to stop himself from falling whenever he's doing a run. Um, he's going into like a make or break year, where if he doesn't do too good, they're gonna definitely try to draft a quarterback in the next year's draft. They do have a lot of good quarterbacks coming out next year's draft. So I feel like he's gonna They're still going to be at the bottom of the NFC East. I feel like it's going to be between Jones and Wentz for being at the bottom of the NFC East. I feel like he's a consistent below average. For Davis Mills, it's gonna be his sophomore season. He was put into like an iffy situation because of what do you call it? Because of the whole Deshaun Watson thing. But he did do pretty good. And I mean, they didn't win many games, but they still did pretty good. Um, he was better than I thought he would be originally. Whenever I saw him playing, I thought he was just going to be, a quarterback, just to be there, not anything special. But he has his moments. So I would say he's probably right around between Wentz and Mayfield. Just because it is only going to be his second season, but he's already shown that he's good. Derek Carr, um, personally, I don't I don't really like him. They are in the AFC West. Sorry, the hardest division in the league. I do feel like they're the bottom. He's the worst quarterback in the AFC West. I'd say he's above average, but mm, I would say he's better than Prescott. I'm not too sure if they're gonna make the playoffs because, like I said, how hard the AFC West is, but it's like everyone in there is a contender. Last year they did barely make it to the playoffs. They did get blown out. I think it was by Kansas City. Or no, it was the Bengals. Deshaun Watson. Ooh, this will be fun. So I'm gonna be ranking this with him to on the chance that he no suspension at all, no weeks, nothing like that, which is very unlikely. But I'd say he's borderline elite. Like he can throw. I'm pretty sure one of his full season he had 5,000 yards, which is obviously very impressive. Um, I definitely say he's better than everybody below here. Um, the the AFC North is definitely going to be a hard one to get through, especially with I feel like the Steelers are definitely going to get the bottom of the barrel on that, especially with the quarterback position. But Deshaun Watson is definitely if there's no suspension, he's definitely going to be borderline elite, especially with being able to. I'd say they'll be able to make the playoffs because they've always been a dark horse for most people making the Super Bowl, but this is really gonna put them into that position. Not too sure who that is, so I'll come back to him. Russell Wilson, um, also in the AFC West. I would say uh he's probably in between above average and borderline elite. He's been in the game for a while. He's still in his prime. He does have some years left. He is gonna have to adapt to a new type of offense. A new type of environment. Moving from the NFC West to the AFC West, having to go against the other teams. Not saying the NFC West teams weren't hard, but I'd say the AFC West are definitely harder. He probably is gonna. I feel like they're gonna get close, maybe like a 9-8 record, but I wouldn't say they'd make the playoffs. Jalen Hurts. This is a lot of people expecting big from him because the Eagles had a very good draft. I'd say that they would come in most likely they're gonna be it's probably gonna be either Cowboys, Eagles, vice versa, and then one of these two. Uh, he does have good speed. He is getting more targets, which is gonna make it a lot easier for him to get the scores. Get the extra yards. But to the fact that is he better than Dak Prescott. If I'm not mistaken, it's only his sophomore year. Dak is, he can scramble a little bit, but that's where Jalen definitely, outplays him with that. He has the speed. He just needs the experience, and I would say he'd definitely be here, maybe like right here. But as of now, I would say he's here. Let's actually move Russell Wilson up. Jameis Winston. Okay, so this is gonna be fun. So, they signed Jarvis Landry, which is obviously gonna be a really big help for Winston. I know everybody knows him for his. I think it was a 30-30 season, 30 touchdowns, 30 interceptions. Um, he last season, I'm not too sure what the problem was. I don't think he was the full starter quarterback. Um, there definitely is a good chance that he is going to be. People are saying, comeback player of the year, dark horse MVP. I do feel like he has a chance of that. Um, I would say he's average though. Yeah, he might have actually also hit 5K yards, but I would say he's average. With like I said, I'm not too sure what happened last season with the quarterback situation, but he didn't produce good last year. Just in general. So the NFC South, you got the Panthers, you got the Saints, Bucks, and some other team I forgot. But it's gonna the Falcons as well. The Saints, most likely the Bucks are gonna win the division, and probably gonna be Bucks, Saints, Falcons, then Panthers, depending on how CMC is. But I don't think he's gonna win the division for them. I don't think they're gonna make the playoffs. Jared Goff, pretty much what was holding the Rams from the Super Bowl. He the Lions didn't have a good year last year. I mean, it's obvious. They did end up beating Green Bay in the one of the final games. I don't know if Rodgers was starting, but they did beat him or the team. But I mean, I'd say he's probably between Wentz and Mills. Garoppolo. So we're gonna do this as Garoppolo is the starting quarterback, and Trey Lance is not. So Garoppolo, he is good. I mean, he's not my team. You know, he is my favorite team in that division or even conference. Um, but he is good. I'm not gonna lie about it. He can throw the yards. He can get into those tough scenarios and come out on top. But he isn't always going to be doing that. He just has experience in getting through and getting through the top and coming out victorious. I would say he is better than um better than Carr and but not as good as Wilson. Joe Burrow. Ooh, this is gonna hurt because I'm a Ravens fan, but from the early of last season, whenever we were going against them, I thought I knew that they were gonna make it far in the season. Um, just starting, I'd put him up here, this run right there. I definitely feel like he is borderline elite because that like he's one of the quarterbacks that's gonna make the AFC North so freaking hard to win. Where you have three teams, well, kind of four teams if you count the Steelers that are, in full contention for going all in this season, making the Super Bowl. He has Joe Mixon, he has Jamar Chase, insane. Their kicker is also pretty good. And I mean, he just has a really good supporting cast. There's really no reason I mean, injury because he did the prior season he did have an ACL tear, which definitely held him back. He did end up winning comeback player of the year this year though. Definitely someone who's gonna make the North and just the AFC a lot scarier. Josh Allen, pretty much the reason why I have perfect. You cannot give me one flaw about Josh Allen. He can throw a ball far as hell. He can run his ass off. He can, there every imperfection of the Bills offense, defense, they're just fixing. They added Von Miller, who just won a Super Bowl, mind you, to an already stacked defense. They're just they're in for all in right now. They have the chance and they're gonna make the Super Bowl. I'm telling you they're gonna go very far this season. No reason why he wouldn't. Justin Fields, ooh. Um he can move. The problem is I feel like within the game, right now in football, people they're trying to get quarterbacks who can run. They're valuing the run, like saying I can run. Yeah, I can run fast. Yeah, but I'm not as good as throwing a ball. They're valuing that better than being able to throw a ball good. He can move. He can throw a ball good, but he's not going to be as good as you know even James Winston. Uh, I do think he's going to be above everybody here though. Justin Herbert. Um. Okay, so he's pretty much my favorite quarterback in the game right now. He is insane at throwing. He's the pictures he's that have posted of him recently, he's gotten huge. Um, he is definitely gonna be, in my opinion, he's gonna be the next Tom Brady. The only thing is, I'm not too sure what his speed is, but like I said, he has an arm. He has a cannon for an arm. Nobody's gonna be able to stop his throw. I've seen him launch 80-yard throws, without a problem. So I'm really hoping that they win the AFC West. Kenny Pickett, I'm gonna try to be unbiased as I can. Um, he is. Problem is I don't know too much about him. Um, they did just get off of Big Ben, which he's been with them for however many years, like 15 years or something, 17 years, which is going to be a big leap for all the supporting cast of receivers, the line, because they're used to somebody who can barely move at all, to somebody who's able to run around a little bit, able to, get around much more easier than Ben was able to. So, for the rookies, I'm mainly going to be putting them in below average because we're not too sure what they're going to be like yet. But I feel like he's going to end up being average. Maybe the high end of average by the end of the season. Kirk Cousins. Ooh, okay. Kirk Cousins, he is definitely, uh, from like team standpoint, overrated. He gets paid so much money, like 40, $45 million per year. I feel like that's a little too much for his talent. Is that even? Yeah, that is Russell, I think. Okay. Um, I feel like he is. I'd say average, but close to above average. Let's see. Lamar Jackson, that's my boy. He can run his ass off. If you need anybody to run, you get Lamar. I would say he's either right here, he's gonna be between Russell Wilson and Herbert, or between Rodgers and Herbert. I'm gonna put him between Rodgers and Herbert. Last season was ended very soon, um, which sucks, but he's gonna definitely be able to do much better. He's getting jacked, um, which I'm not surprised. You know, he people are always saying, "Oh, running back, wide receiver," and he's showing them, I can throw a ball. There's a clip of him on one knee throwing a ball 50 yards perfectly without moving. Pretty much, I was like, "Oh my." He can run his ass off. He can throw the ball. He's trying to prove that to everybody. The AFC North's definitely gonna be really hard for us to get through. Mac Jones. So they made the playoffs last season. I'm not too sure if that's just because it's Bill Belichick running them, or it's Mac Jones. But I would say he's definitely one of the better rookies from last season. I'd like to say that. He did, like I said, he did make the playoffs. They did get blown out though. I'd say he's average. He probably is gonna be below Winston at the end of the season. That's just gonna assume that Winston is gonna be the main starter and is actually gonna be half decent to what his projections are. I'm not too sure who that is off the top of my head. This is Marcus Mariota. Marcus Mariota. We haven't seen much play from him. From what I've seen, he's average. He can move. He can throw the ball. He's just not insanely good at either one of those fully just yet. Like I said, he hasn't been a full starter. And that's gonna be if the Falcons don't trade for anybody or draft anybody. Not draft, but get anybody else. Let's see, that is Matt Ryan. So he is gonna be with the Colts. I would definitely imagine he's gonna be in the average tier because he's been playing for so long. Yeah, he had I think it was 2016. He had an MVP season, but he's getting old. He's getting traded a lot. I think it was for like a sixth round or something. It might be someone else I'm thinking of, but the AFC. He's in the AFC South. That's not that too hard of a division to win in. So I mean, I would just leave that there. He might. I would say he'd probably get around 8-9, 9-8 record. Matt Stafford. Okay. I feel like he is good, like pretty good. He did, like I said, he did lead them to a Super Bowl victory. He is definitely better than Jimmy G in my opinion. Um, but I wouldn't say he's better than anybody else up here. Like I said, yeah, he didn't make them win a Super Bowl, but they also had insanely good players. They had Cooper Kupp, they had Aaron Donald, Jalen Ramsey, um, Cam Hayward, Cam Akers. A lot of people were gonna help that. Let's see. All right, Patrick Mahomes, obviously perfect. Their AFC, or I forgot which playoff game it was, but the playoff game they had against each other, Bills and Chiefs, was insane. Changed overtime rules for the postseason. He's pretty much the best you can get, as well with Josh Allen. Fix this. All right. So Ryan Tannehill, he is in jeopardy of losing his job to what do you call it, Matt Corral. But he's, I wouldn't say he's the best, but they did end up getting the number one seed in the AFC. No idea how that happened. We ain't gonna ignore that. He's definitely above average. I'd say he's between Carr and huh. Yeah, I'd say between Prescott and Hurts. Just because um he is towards the end of his career. He definitely was better earlier in his career, but I feel like just from this point it's gonna be downward spiral. Sam Darnold, possibly the starter for the South Carolina Panthers. Not much to say. I would say I put him between Mariota and Jones. Doesn't have that high of a ceiling. Uh, Not also that low of a floor, but I wouldn't expect too much from him for this season. This actually might be Matt Corral right here. I would actually just put him a little bit higher than Sam Darnold because he is fresh out of college. He is used to being a starter. He is, going to be a younger version of Sam Darnold, if you may. I feel like he's just going to have a lot more potential than he does. Brady, if this was like say 5 years ago, he'd be perfect. But now I feel like he's uh, probably between Lamar and Rodgers. At this point, we're just counting out how many years until he retires. But I mean, hopefully soon. I don't really like him, but he is the GOAT. He can throw. He can't really move, but he has amazing game knowledge, amazing experience. 20 plus years. The cannon for an arm. He can make those really intense passes. He can make the impossible passes if you are put into those situations. All right, so we got Trevor Lawrence. He had a horrible rookie. He didn't have a horrible rookie season. He just didn't have the best, mainly being because of the whole head coach thing with Urban Myers, all of that. Um, for this season coming up, though, I'm definitely gonna expect him to be like mid-average or probably high average because he is in college. He was very good in college, but he like you couldn't see it in his rookie year just because of everything that was going on around him. But I do expect them to be a contender in the AFC South. Trey Lance. So this is going to be if they start Trey Lance over Jimmy G. I'd say Jimmy G or Trey Lance is probably on the top of above average. He's better than Jimmy G, in my opinion. Um, it's just going to be the question if they start him or not. That's just the main thing. He is, just overall a better quarterback. And in the NFC West, you got the Cardinals, Seahawks, which you're not really gonna have to worry about, and the Los Angeles Rams, which the Rams are probably gonna be the hardest. But they can put him in for a couple games, see if he's good. But I feel like they should start him because they will do good with him. And we got Tua Tagovailoa, the left-handed thrower. I definitely believe he's gonna be above Trevor Lawrence. He does have Tyreek, but I don't want that to fully affect how he does, which it most likely will. But it's Tyreek Hill, he's insane. But he can move. He also had Jalen Waddle last season. Definitely helped him out. I feel like they are gonna get to maybe a 10-win season. Depending on how they play their cards. Let's see. I don't have them on here, but Kyler Murray, he just today he got an extension, $250 million for a 5 year, if I'm not mistaken. It's a little much. I would put him in above average between Jimmy G and Matthew Stafford. He can run. He's a little short, but I mean, he is a little confident, which I mean that's never a bad thing. But if you're not able to fully output your confidence into play, then it's not really worth doing. Um, then we have Zach Wilson. You know, he's probably around a average between Winston and Jones. The only reason being because he did get, if I'm not mistaken, he did get a wide receiver or two in the draft, which is definitely going to help him improve. But he's also, he did decent last season. He could have, obviously done better. But his ceiling is definitely very high. And they're just going to keep pushing him from there. And then for the last one is the Seahawks, which I think it's going to be Geno Smith or Tyler Lockett. I'm not too sure which one it's going to be. But for both of them, I would say they're definitely in below average. Gonna be between Wentz and Justin Fields. So yeah, guys, that's my ranking of all the hopefully starting NFL quarterbacks in one video. Hopefully, you guys have a great rest of your day.